because I like torturing myself, I decided to watch MrEnter's most recent video, his review on the annoying orange. And I couldn't make it through the first 2 minutes because it was so bad! Oh my god. Oh, he proves himself to be a hypocrite and an idiot in just 2 minutes. Oh, God. Let's roll the footage, or whatever footage I managed to get, because I only have 2 minutes worth, maybe less. Oh, it ain't gonna be fun, folks. It ain't gonna be fun.
While this didn't necessarily factor into my decision to do this review, I will say that the Annoying Orange Cartoon Network show was one of my most requested things to review, like, ever.
Your damage control is about as convincing as the damage control that the Fine Brothers used for React World. Yeah, the requests, that's the entire reason you're doing this, Enter. You're not fooling anybody. Like, I'm not doing this out of a request, okay? I'm just doing it because I hate MrEnter and I think his reviews are garbage. Not because of requests. But here, come on, people were requesting you out the butthole to do this. It's pretty obvious that you're doing this because people asked you to. Pretty pathetic.
If you asked me what was the worst thing the Cartoon Network ever did, I'd say the Problem Solvers. But the biggest mistake they ever made was perhaps to put this show on the air.
So you're saying that a crappy Cartoon Network show is their biggest mistake, but them pretty much destroying their reputation for a while by airing live action, that totally wasn't their biggest mistake. Look, I get that The Annoying Orange is sort of a weird hybrid cross between live action and cartoons, but it still definitely focuses more on the animation, so I'm counting it as a cartoon. Enter... You don't make sense here, okay? It's pretty obvious that you're just biased, that you don't like this show. When you think that this was a worse mistake, an obscure show that probably no one remembers, was a bigger mistake than live action, which still has people holding a grudge against Cartoon Network. Yeah. There are 90s kids on the internet who still complain about Cartoon Network airing live action even though they haven't done it in years. That's how bad that left an impression. And you're saying that The Annoying Orange was worse. Okay?
See, at the time, Nickelodeon gave Fred, the most popular YouTube celebrity, a movie and his own television show. This worked out horribly. The movie was panned, the show bombed, and even the web series' reputation started heading down afterwards. For some reason, Cartoon Network wanted to rip off this brilliant move and gave a cartoon series to another rising YouTube concept.
Wait, this sounds familiar. Someone is trying to turn something that was previously available into a series. It ends up bombing, and their reputation goes down the toilet. Let's look at what happened with MrEnter himself. He takes an obscure Disney pilot, tries to make a series out of it, but I don't care if it's a fan fiction or if he took inspiration. It's a ripoff. He tries to make a series out of it. It gets panned even by his fans, and lo and behold, MrEnter's reputation has been going down the toilet. Yeah. His obliviousness to reality is frightening, to say the least. Oh God, oh God, oh God. MrEnter, please retire. That is all. Nah, I'm gonna keep watching this video to see if I can find any more idiotic complaints. Oh, if I wasn't an atheist, I would be praying.
Give breadwinners this. At least the actual cartoon is animated better than the web version. Like most cartoons, this one has a theme song.
A cartoon having a theme song? Well, I'll be darned. Well, a cartoon having a theme song, that is just... Oh, wow, a theme song in a cartoon. That was totally worth pointing out. Great, great build-up to the theme song critique of yours, MrEnter. Wow, most cartoons having a theme... I just can't get over that.
It is absolutely terrible. I'm sorry, but your singing is just off. The lyrics are shit, and the genre is about 20 years out of date.
Wow. Just wow. You're critiquing the theme song. This is a cartoon review, not a theme song review, okay? If you were doing a top 20 worst theme songs list, okay, put this on there, critique it there. Why did you, have to explain that it was bad? I mean, you're talking about the cartoon, not the theme song. This is the problem I have with Enter. He focuses on the theme songs per shows. Why? The shows and the theme songs are different. Imagine if I did a My Life as a Teenage Robot review and said, the theme song for this show is amazing. It's like, why would I do that? Like, for example, Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Great show, but I hate the theme song. It's just so, I can't stand it. But, if I make a review of the show, I'm not going to point it out. It's not worth it. It has nothing to do with the quality of the actual show. I can just skip the theme song or mute my TV or computer if I don't want to hear it. God, Enter. Wow, this was totally worth pointing out in your review. Seriously, a cartoon having a theme song, I still can't get over that. I'm sorry, I can't.
Yeah, most of the fruits the annoying orange has come across in his travels, their fate ends up essentially being cut to pieces by a knife in a brutal fashion. This doesn't happen to Pear because it would be a lot nicer than forcing him to live around Orange. And apparently, beating a guy when he's down is the perfect recipe for comedy.
You do realize that the majority of your videos are you trying to beat down cartoons that are bad for comedy, right? Let's be honest, Enter. In your videos, you try to make a couple jokes and a couple crackers. And how do you do this? You beat down the bad cartoons. You just trumped your sense of comedy. Not like Donald Trump. I mean, you trumpled it. You just explained that you can't even do your comedy. How did you miss this?
Almost every single joke in the show is a pun. A terrible pun. It's terrible puns for 11 minutes, 60 episodes, which total to 2 seasons. At an average of 6 puns per minute, that's almost 4,000 puns that the show has spat out. And not one of them is funny.
As the nostalgia critic would say, this has been another pointless moment. Really, Enter? Why would we care that there are so many terrible puns in this show? Why couldn't you just say, okay, this show has a lot of bad puns, or something along those lines? I mean, you could explain why they're bad. Why would you give us such a scientific and exact calculation of how many puns there are, instead of just explaining why exactly they're bad? That's like if I said, okay, did you know that in My Life as a Teenage Robot, there are a total of 2 fights per episode? That's not an exact number, I'm just pulling this out of my ass. And that means there's 4,000 fights per season. Isn't that incredible, guys? See, it just doesn't add up.
But Johnny Appleseed wasn't an apple. He was a person. And he wasn't the only person to travel around the world. These puns are awful!
Dude, you're getting your panties in a wad over a pun in a cartoon. A stupid and unfunny pun, but still. Why are you getting so worked up? Just why? Yeah, it's a pun. It's not funny. What did you? It's like you didn't even get it. Did you not realize that the name Johnny Appleseed has apple in it? Yeah, it's not a funny pun, but, it's like you couldn't even see what they were trying to do. And that's kind of obvious. I haven't even seen this episode, just the clips that you've been showing, but you're kind of an idiot.
What else have you got for me? With the journey plot, you're actually supposed to do things with each location? When you don't do that, it's kinda... what's the word? Oh yeah, boring!
You're screaming about a children's show being boring. You seriously need to rethink your life. Look at me. I'm in school band, Spanish, and advanced English. You don't see me screaming when all of those things get boring, and you're screaming about a children's show getting boring. I'd hate to see how you did in school, Enter. I really, really would hate to see it.
At home, Pear is happy they've got rid of Orange. Why is his drink garnished with a lemon? That's very confusing.
It's not really confusing. It's a cannibalism joke. A stupid joke, an unfunny joke, but still a joke. Yeah, I'm not confused. It was this show's poor attempt at being funny. I'm surprised you didn't scream over it.
Seriously, this is one question I would like to know when it comes to the logic behind all of these shows. Why do these ultra-annoying characters from any of these stupid cartoons have anyone tolerate them ever?
Sort of my reaction to why MrEnter's fanboys praise him so much. He's an annoying, egotistical, pretentious twat who has no idea and is completely oblivious to his actions, yet people love him. I think you and the annoying orange have a lot in common, Enter.
Tennis balls are portrayed as the most brainless things in the universe that have pretty much no mind whatsoever. As such, they're the only things within the episode to laugh at Orange's jokes.
Nah, too easy.
I mean, in every single episode of the web series, you're just waiting for the knife to come after him. And then when you realize it doesn't, you wonder what you're doing with your life. And then you get really depressed and... Never mind.
Enter, I would like to tell you something. That's you. Like, you just admitted it, basically. That's you. The whole never mind part at the end of that sentence, basically, that combined with all of this other crap. You being a man-child who has nothing better to do than review cartoons. You have a Patreon. You never use it because the production values of your videos never change. That's you. You're a man-child. You have nothing to do with your life. No, how do you have 100,000 subscribers? Hey, if I can review cartoons, I guess he can too. Freedom of speech, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great rule, but it does have its disadvantages. I'm Kablam Bandicoot 64, and I rule that MrEnter is just as, if not more, annoying than that insipid orange he did this whole review about. Good night, everybody.